So my client decided to do a little art project of her own at home by doing her own hair color using box color. It's now time for a relaxer. And boy, you guys want to stick around for this transformation. Ready to see how it went? Keep watching. Okay, guys, so we started off by parting out her hair and using the clippers to remove some of that excess or unneeded hair for the style that we were doing. She had a lot of oil in her hair. That was number one. Her hair was extremely thick. That's number two. And the guard kept getting stuck because she definitely was in need of a relaxer. And that's number three. But we got through it, guys. We got through it. The reason why I decided to use the clippers to cut her hair down was because I knew I was going to go really, really low. And to save time, I said I would use my clippers. But that actually turned out to be even more complicated than it should have been. It was just more complicated than it should have been. But we did eventually get to cut down majority of what we needed to cut down without aggravating the scalp. Very important. I did base her before applying her relaxer. And then, of course, I applied her relaxer as I went. Now, here's the thing, guys. She is color treated and also needed a full relaxer. This is typically something that you cannot do at home. If I tell you guys, this is something that's very dangerous to do at home because relaxer over permanent hair color can turn out to be detrimental. It can turn out to be balding, thinning, shedding. It can turn out to be the hair burning because relaxer over permanent color is almost like a form of hair remover. I can't really voice that enough that I do not recommend doing your own relaxer at home. Definitely seek out a professional, okay? If you guys now notice, her hair color did change. So we went in and did a ruby red Joico intensity color on her. That is a semi-permanent color, you guys. I do not stress enough that trying to use anything that requires any form of developer on hair that is already compromised is a no-no. So we use the semi-permanent color as what we call a filler, and to also bring some life back to her hair, as the hair color that she was going for was actually this color, and that is not what she got when she did it herself. What I'm doing now is, of course, after the relaxer, I had to cut her hair down even more because exactly what I stated would happen in the beginning is what somewhat happened. I did do the relaxer with a lot of speed. I did coat the hair again. I did base the scalp. But at the same time, those measures will not stop this from happening if it has to happen. So this is another reason why I say do not color your hair before you get a relaxer. You're actually supposed to relax before you get the color and wait a couple weeks to get the color, depending on the level of color that you are getting. Now, I decided that I didn't even decide. I knew that I would have to bring her down to what we called micro pixie. So I did so, and then I used our Elite Silk wrap foam to mold her hair. Now, the finished product came out great. The color itself came out great. Over time, I'm going to tell you guys right now, she definitely will have to do a lot of moisturizing treatments and strengthening treatments just to keep that hair intact and healthy while the new growth comes out. And then we will not be making that mistake again in terms of her doing her color at home before she does a relaxer, because guys, the results don't always come out this way. I actually wanted to really do this video just so you guys could understand why you don't do that, because if you notice, well, you didn't notice because you can't really tell in this, but there were areas where the ends of her hair that was higher level lift of color, that actually had that level of color on it, those areas melted on the ends of her hair. So what I had to do is go in and cut it down really, really short in those areas, just to suffice for the fact that she needed to have some hair for us to be able to achieve this style. So that's why I always say, you guys, leave this to a professional. Leave it to a professional. Leave it to a professional. Now her hair is dry, so I'm now going through and I'm thinning out the perimeter using my clippers You can also do this with your shears, but I just use my clippers to do it. And the guard is in the open position, or the blade, should I say, is in the open position. And then for her hairline, I trimmed her using my Babyliss trimmers, which I'm really excited because I just got these. They're really, really nice, actually. So my T-liners are no longer in commission. They're in my drawer. But my go-to, of course, has been my Babyliss clippers. So I really like the trimmer as well. Now I'm just using this to do her hairline, and then we'll go through and curl her. Now here is the kicker to the curl portion of this, guys. Yes, you want to use Marcel's. Yes, you want to use the highest level setting of heat on the flat iron. But did I do so? No. And I will tell you why in just a moment. Now, for the actual curl phase, before I did any type of curl, I did apply some Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum to her hair, which is going to serve as a heat protectant, which is another layer of protection for this hair that is somewhat in a compromised state. She's not bald, you guys. No. She's not missing any hair anywhere. No. I was able to achieve this haircut by taking her down to a lower level. But my iron has been turned down to almost 350 degrees versus 450 degrees, which is usually what we would use for any shortcut because it really won't do anything. It'll just make the curl a little bit faster. But in her case, if I use the high level of heat on top of hair that's already somewhat compromised, on top of hair that I just relaxed, hair that was color treated before I relaxed it, hair that was already in a volatile state, I could just run the risk of melting it even more, which I did not want to do. So that is the reason why I use a lower level of heat on the flat iron. And if you notice, I even turned it down again because I saw that it was still somewhat too high for my liking. Was it burning the hair? No, but I still wanted to turn it down just in case as an added level of insurance. And yes, I might have had to do one or two pieces more than once versus just using the iron one time, but that's just for me, guys. I want to make sure that my client's hair is still intact. And I want to make sure that she has hair that she can actually do something with later on. While right now you don't see any type of issue, later on she could have trouble with what we call shedding, excessive shedding, because guess what, guys? It will not run its course just yet. This can happen over time. So for her, she definitely will be coming in to get her protein treatment, which I highly suggest 2 weeks after the relaxer, and then also getting her moisturizing treatments from there on. And then we will kind of scale back on relaxing her crown, which is where a lot of that color treated hair is left behind. And we would just basically work on the perimeter in regards to the sides and the back when it's time for us to retouch those areas, because those areas will be all new growth anyway. Okay. So for the top part of her hair, I just turned the iron up one notch, which brought it up to I think I brought it back to 350 at this point because I did turn it down. And then I'm just going through and giving her some little curls, nothing too fancy. And then from there, we were able to achieve, a style that was suitable for her, which actually this was the picture that she came in with. I also thought that we weren't going to have enough hair in the top. I thought she was definitely going to be a micro pixie. For those of you that do not know what a micro pixie is, that is like a brush pixie, a comb pixie where you literally can use your fingers and move it around and you are done. It is the shortest form of a pixie outside of a bald head. Okay, so for her, this was more like a standard pixie, and then her sides and back were really, really short on purpose. Now for at-home care, what would I suggest that she do if she can't come to the salon? In her case, I would definitely recommend that she gets our super reconstruction treatment, which is your at-home protein treatment. It is a two-step system that you can use to do your protein treatment at home if you can't get to the salon, which I know through COVID, that's one issue that we have right now. Also, for her shampoo and conditioner, she'd be using the Hydra Strength shampoo and conditioner because it is a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner, but it is a more lightweight moisturizing shampoo and conditioner, which you do want for short haircuts. You don't want it too heavy. You want it to be nice and movable, but still doing the job at the same time. Outside of the shampoo, conditioner, and the protein treatment, she'd also make sure that she wants to apply the Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum as her heat protectant. I stress heat protectant on everything. Anything you are touching with a flat iron. And when you use a heat protectant, you will apply it after the hair is dry. Not when you're going to blow dry. You're just basically burning in more product into the hair, you guys. If it is a spray form of heat protection, that's fine in regards to like a water-based. But when it is a silicone or something, I don't recommend blow drying with it at the same time. And then, of course, you want to make sure you always use your leave-in conditioner after any wash day. Okay? So all in all, we were able to achieve this look. We were able to still relax her and color her in the same day. But in respects to the color, it was a semi-permanent color. Not demi, not permanent, not box color, because I know some of you think box color is not that, but none of that. So you guys comment, tell me what you think, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel or follow me on Instagram at Elite Hair Care USA.